This video tutorial will show you how to use quick fields to compress or reduce uh, color images that are inside of a repository to black and white. Maybe somebody would have scanned some pages and inadvertently scanned in color, and when you do that in Laserfiche, they result in very large file sizes. So I'm working with Quick Fields 10.1, and we'll go in, and first thing we want to do is set the scan source. So choose scan source. You might have had a scanner connected to that workstation, but we want to choose Laserfiche Capture Engine. That'll enable us to go into the repository and retrieve documents from there. So next thing is configure the scan source, and this dialog box comes up, and we log onto the server, choose the repository. I'm going to be doing password authentication and apply. So we're connecting the retrieve entries. We want to use basic retrieval and then go out and go into the repository and retrieve from City of Huntsville these two subfolders. It could be hundreds of folders in here, but you can specify the master or the top level folder, and then we'll go in and say include subfolders. The type, we want to check documents, don't need the electronic documents. And we'll go on to document content. We want to keep each entry as a separate document. We don't need to retrieve the electronic file or the fields. We want to pull in the image for each page in the document, retrieve the image. So everything else is unchecked. Post-processing, there's nothing added here. Retrieval limits, we don't change that. So once we've got that set up with our connection, then we want to go over here to the area right underneath the classification, and this is where we put the default document name in. Now when we right click or left click the arrow, the right arrow, we want to put in the name token, and that'll pull the original name and rename the document with the same name. As far as storing the document, we want to pull the path token, and that'll put it into the original folder that it was pulled from. Okay, so once we have that set up, the next thing is go to page processing and bring in the color removal function, that process, and just drop it underneath there. Then we walk through the wizard, page range, all pages. We want to do the entire page, and we don't need to change the compensation for color background, and then we just leave the contrast at normal in the middle. Click on finish. Okay, at this point we've got our documents out in two folders, and this is a 7 megabyte document and a 10 megabyte document, and these were scanned in color. We want to see these changed and reduced. So let's go out back into Laserfiche, Quick Fields, and hit the scanning start scanning icon, and it brings in those two document sets. We see them processed here. Okay, now at this point we're ready to send them in. We can say store all. It sends them in the repository. Now when we look and we click on this and hit F5 to refresh, you can see it went down 190K from 10.2 megabytes. Folder 1, it went from 7.8 megabytes down to 176K. So it'll very quickly go through a whole bunch of folders and do this all automatically. So back in Quick Fields, just a final comment, make sure that you put the percentage name and percentage path tokens, and then you add that color removal processing function under page processing. Hope this helps. Thanks.